Hi and welcome to the course. My name is Nikolai and I will be teaching you how to hack websites using multiple techniques. Now the course is designed to take you from scratch with no previous knowledge about web security or hacking. So let's see what I'm going to cover during the course. First you'll begin by exploring the basics of World Wide Web and how HTTP protocol works using Wireshark, which is a network protocol analyzer. Then I'm going to teach you how to prepare your web testing lab by installing OWASP, Web Hacking Environment, and then how to use Vega platform to test the security of web applications. Once done with that, I will move to SQL injection. In this part, you will learn how to bypass login forms and how to write SQL queries to find databases, tables, and sensitive information, such as usernames and passwords. I'm also going to show you how to use SQL map and how to prevent your site from SQL injection. Then I will show you how to hack WordPress sites using WP Scan, which is a security scanner that helps you to find security weaknesses within WordPress installations. So after completing this part, I will move to cross-site scripting attacks, where you will learn the stored and reflected attacks. You will also learn how to take full control over the victim machine using B framework and Weavly. And lastly, I'm going to cover some social engineering attacks, like cross-site request forgery and phishing. After completing this course, you will understand common web hacking techniques used by hackers, and you will have a practical knowledge about vulnerabilities that affect web applications. Now, please remember that all information exposed in this course is for educational purpose and shall only be used to expand knowledge and not for causing malicious or damaging attacks. Okay, so now let's see who is this course for. This course is for beginners or anyone who wants to learn about web application hacking. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you inside. Hi and welcome. In this lesson I'm going to teach you how the web works as an overall process. The web is a way of transmitting data over the internet using the HTTP protocol and HTML. To access information from the web, you need a web browser, such as Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, Safari, and so on. The web can be summarized as a series of interactions between clients and servers. In this slide, you can see how the web works in a nutshell. First, you request a web page in your web browser, and DNS checks the domain name of the website you entered. And then the web server sends back the data for the requested web page. A web server is just a piece of software running on the operating system of a server that allows connections to access a web application. The most common web servers are Apache and Tomcat. These servers have normal directory and structures like any other computer. Now let's see what you need to know about HTTP. HTTP is a plain text protocol, so there is no security or privacy when using HTTP. HTTP is the foundation of communication for web pages and has various requests. The most important requests are GET and POST. GET request retrieves data, so every time you browse to a page you are performing a GET request. POST request. It is used for submission of web forms, for example login forms. An important thing to remember is that HTTP was not created to handle web transactions that requires a high degree of security and privacy. You can inspect all the information of how HTTP operates with tools such as Wireshark. The solution for this problem is HTTPS, because uses an encrypted protocol called Secure Socket Layer, commonly known as SSL. The S stands for secure, which means you are going to communicate with the website over an encrypted channel. HTTPS is best suited for preventing man-in-the-middle attacks and eavesdropping from packet analysis, and is always better to use. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to show you the difference between HTTP and HTTPS using Wireshark, which is a network analyzer. Wireshark is available for free at Wireshark website and you can download for Windows and Linux. So let's get started. The tool is really easy to use actually. All you have to do is go up here and click Capture, Options, and then select the interface which you want to use. In my case I have internet connection from my wireless interface. Now press Start to capture all the traffic on that interface. First I will demonstrate why HTTP is unsecured when browsing the internet by going to a site which uses HTTP. And now I will try to log in using new user for the username and let me in for the password. Okay, so let's visit another site with HTTPS to see the difference. And if you look at the address box, you can see a lock. This means that the secure socket layer has been established on this page. So again, I will log in using my username and password. And let's switch back to Wireshark and change the filter to HTTP. And here you can see the get and response packets, which contains information like my MAC address, router address, IP source, destination address, and so on. Now let's find the post packet, which contains the username and password for the HTTP site. So go ahead and change the filter to HTTP request method equal and in caps post, and click on HTML form. As you can see, here is the login name and the password. If you don't see this HTML form, use right click and select follow TCP stream, and you will see the username and password as well. Okay, so now I'm going to see the traffic from HTTPS site. For that I need to change the filter to SSL, and here you can see the packets are encrypted using Transport Layer Security Protocol, or TLS. Basically you are communicating over an encrypted channel with the website, which we all want. This type of connection is necessary if you do web transaction using your credit card or any other sensitive information. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to prepare your web testing lab using XAMPP and OWASP. XAMPP is a local Apache server which comes along with PHP, MySQL and a bunch of other good stuff. Basically allows you to run a web server on your local machine. And OWASP is a free open source vulnerable web application designed for beginners to learn web application security and hacking. So let's go ahead and download these applications by going to sourceforge.net and search for XAMPP and click the download button. I already downloaded the program, so I will skip ahead. But don't worry because the installation is very basic. Once done with the installation, open the program and start Apache web server and the MySQL database. Now you need to go to XAMPP directory and look for htdocs directory. That's where OWASP web application is going to be installed. To download the vulnerable web application, search for OWASP and select the version, and then download the zip file. So again, I will skip ahead. After the download has finished, extract the zip file and copy all the files to XAMPP htdocs directory. Now open your browser and go to 127.0.0.1. You may need to reset the database by clicking Reset the DB link. if there is a database error. So when you get into the system, there is a menu on the left where you can see different types of attacks, like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and many more. But I will cover these attacks in another tutorial. So that's it for this lecture. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this lesson I'm going to teach you how to use Vega. Vega is a free web security scanner for testing the security of web applications. This tool can help you find vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, blind SQL injection, and a lot more. Vega is written in Java and runs on Linux and Windows. But for this tutorial I'm going to use the Windows version. So let's go ahead and download this tool by going to subgraph.com/Vega and click the download button and then select the version. I already done this, so I will skip ahead. After the installation has completed, you should see the Vega icon on your desktop. Open the program and you will see this simple interface, which is very easy to use. Now, in order to scan with Vega, you will click New Scan and then enter the address of the website you want to scan. And in here you need to select the different types of modules that you will be scanning for. So I will scan only for SQL injection. For that I need to turn everything off by unchecking the ones I don't want to scan. And scroll down and find all SQL injection. And then click Next. Now here is the identity, but you don't need to worry too much about this, so click Finish to start the scan. This process can take some time, so I will skip ahead to where the scan is complete. Okay, now the scan is complete. As you can see, I have some SQL injection vulnerabilities here. And on the left is the scan alerts. Now click to drop it down, and here are all the pages that have high risk to SQL injection. And to get more information, just click the link. And you will see detailed information about the alert in this panel. If you scroll down, you will see important information about the problem, some discussion, the impact, and the suggested remediation. This information helps you to write your report very easily if you are doing web penetration testing for a company. That's why Vega is a great free tool to use. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this video I'm going to teach you a basic understanding of SQL injection. SQL is short for Structured Query Language and it's a language used for database management. In short, SQL tells databases what to do. So before we start, you should know what SQL injection and databases are. SQL injection is one of the most common web hacking techniques used for accessing the database of the website. An attacker can get all the details from the database by accessing data, bypassing logins, or shut down the SQL server. Now let's understand what is a database. Databases are basically a structure of tables where each table contains user IDs, passwords, web page details, and more. So I will switch to my computer and show you how a database looks like by going to 127.0.0.1/phpMyAdmin. I forgot to mention that XAMPP also comes with phpMyAdmin, which is a database management tool. And on the left you can see some databases. For example, I'm going to select NoASP database. But please remember, I'm not hacking anything in this tutorial. This is just to give you a basic understanding to see how database works behind the scene. As you can see here, you have all the tables. To select a table, just click the one you want to retrieve information. In my case, I'm going to select accounts. And you can see the username and the password for all the accounts on the database. You can edit, change the rights, or delete a specific account. Now let's learn some basic queries for SQL. So go ahead and click SQL up here. And let's retrieve data from the table using select statement. So type select asterisk from, which means everything from the table, and the table name. And the way you end a SQL query is by putting a semicolon. And let's go ahead and execute the query by pressing Ctrl plus Enter. And you can see all the data from the table. Let's say you want to check who is admin from accounts. For that you need to type select username, is admin from accounts. And the usernames with true have admin rights. Another important SQL query is where statement. For example, imagine if you want to get all users who have the same password. You can use the where statement by typing select username, password from accounts, where password equal password. And if you execute the query, you will see the usernames with the same password. But for that you need to know the password. Now let's say you have an account with username John and password is password. So when you try to log into a website, the SQL syntax will be like this. Select username, password from table name, where username equal John and password equal password. If the username and password are correct, then you will successfully log in. Okay, so now I believe that you have a basic understanding of SQL databases. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to bypass login screens using SQL injection. SQL injection is a code injection technique used to hack data applications, in which malicious SQL statements are inserted into an entry field for execution. So let's get started by going first to user info SQL and extract the account details from the database. Sometimes it is better to know how the SQL query looks like. For that you can type a single quote in the name field and press enter. And you can see the query down here, which is select from accounts where username is what you have passed in and password whatever you have passed in. Now in order to view the account details you need to type in single quote or 1 equal 1. This 1 equal 1 is a true statement. So you can type any true statement like 4 equal 4, 6 equal 6 and so on. And to escape from the password field, use the comment symbol. This comment symbol will ignore the password field when the query is executed on the server. So go ahead and press view account details. And you can see all the usernames and passwords from the database. You can also use the same statement, single quote 1 equal 1 and the comment symbol to log in. And you can see I have successfully logged as admin. Okay, now let's log out and see another example. Let's say you know the username is John, but you don't know the password. For that you need to type John single quote and the comment symbol to ignore the password field for John in my case, and press login. And up here you can see I'm logged as John. Now let's understand the SQL query behind the scene. And this is how the SQL query will look like when you are trying to log in to a web application. Select from table name, this can be any name, where username is whatever name you have typed. If the username is in the database, for example John, then this will be true. And the trick here is when you put 1 equal 1 or 4 equal 4, this will also validate as true. And to bypass the password field, I have used the comment symbol, which will ignore the last part of the query. That's why you are able to log in without using a password. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to perform SQL injection using SQL Map. SQL Map is one of the most powerful SQL injection tool out there. This tool can help you extract database names, tables, columns, and a lot more. So first of all, I will need a website or web application to test for SQL injection. And I have found this list of sites on the internet, which you can legally scan and perform different types of attacks. Now select a site from this list and then use the Vega scanner to see the vulnerable page. I already done this, and as you can see the website has high risk to SQL injection. And on the left is the complete scan. Click the arrow to drop it down. And here is the vulnerable link, which I'm going to use for my SQL injection attack. To perform the attack, I'm going to use Kali Linux, because SQL Map is already installed on Kali. So I will switch to my Kali machine and open a terminal by clicking on the terminal icon. And type SQL Map-H to see the list of options. But I will leave this for you to read. Okay, now let's do the SQL injection. So go ahead and type SQL Map-U for URL and press enter. Enter again, and I don't want these options. And no, this process can take some time. After the scan is complete, you can see that SQL Map has identified the following injection points. At this point you can pull up databases, tables and other information from the website. So go ahead and use the --dbs option to retrieve the databases. And here are the available databases. Now to dump information from a specific database, type --tables -d and then the table name. And it's going to dump the column names that are inside. This can also take some time depending on how many tables are inside. So go ahead and dump the content of the users by typing --columns -t users. And here you can see the content of users. And now just get rid of the columns and put dump there. Press enter and it's going to say, do you want to crack them with a dictionary attack? Again press enter. I'm going to use the default one by pressing enter. And no for this one. And the cracking process is starting. This process can take some time depending on how strong is the password. But in my case the password is very simple. As you can see, the password was cracked for this hash here and is none. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to prevent your website from SQL injection by using a PHP function. So as you can see, I have my login function for my web application. And here is the SQL query which you send to the database for execution. And the user ID is where you put your SQL statement. If you type or 1 equal 1 and the comment symbol, then this will validate as true. And you will retrieve information from the database. To give you an example, I will use my vulnerable web application and click SQL injection. Make sure the security level is set to low. Now in the user ID field, type single quote 1 equal 1 and the comment symbol. As you can see, I am able to retrieve information from the database using SQL injection. Okay, so now let's learn how to fix this problem. And to do this, you need to add MySQL real escape string function and strip slash, which is also a function, and then the if statement. So this function MySQL real escape string will escape special characters in a string when the query is sent to the database. What I mean by that is when you type special characters like single quote, comment symbol, and other different types of characters, then the SQL database it's not going to see these characters as code anymore. And the strip slash function removes backslashes. To help you understand better, I will switch back to my web application, and this time I will set the security level to high. And let's see now if the injection is working. And you can see when I click submit, nothing happens, because the PHP function is inserted in the high security mode. You can click view source to see the code, and here you can see the functions. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to make a quick tour for WP Scan, which is a security scanner that helps you to find security weaknesses within WordPress installations. The main features of WP Scan are username enumeration, password cracking, vulnerability enumeration, and plugin enumeration. Now let's understand what is WordPress for those who don't know. WordPress is a free open source content management system and is the most popular tool for creating websites. Once installed and configured, you can build pretty much any type of site you want with WordPress. A blog, a forum, a business site, a social network, and so on. The possibilities are endless. That's the reason why 27% of all websites are built with WordPress. Okay, so now I will switch to my Kali machine and show you the WP Scan tool. I forgot to mention that WP Scan is not supported on Windows, but it does come pre-installed on Kali Linux. So in your terminal type wp scan --help, and the help session gives you information on how you can use the WP Scan tool. Here you can see different examples like how to enumerate users, install themes, plugins, password brute force, and a lot more. And if you scroll up you can see all the options, but I will leave this for you to read. Now I will stop the video here, and in the next lesson I will show you how to hack a WordPress site using WP Scan. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to hack a WordPress site using WP Scan. But first of all, let's learn how to install WordPress on your local machine. So go to the WordPress site and click the download button. I already done this process, and now select the zip file and extract to XAMPP htdocs folder. I assume by now that you know what is XAMPP. Now go ahead and start the Apache and MySQL database server. Once done with that, open your browser and type your local IP address, and you'll be brought to the installation process. Here select the language of your choice, and next it's going to ask some database details. I haven't created a database yet, so I'm going to open a new tab and type my local IP address /phpMyAdmin. And click databases. I'm going to create a new database called DB and click create. By default, phpMyAdmin creates a username root which doesn't have a password. Now you can close this tab and go back to your WordPress installation and click Let's Go. The database name is DB in my case. Username is root with no password and press Submit. And then run the install. Here just fill in the information. For site title I will put web security. Username admin, password just let me in, and the email address. And click on install WordPress. Now I will log in using my username and password that I just set. And here is the WordPress dashboard. On the left you can see the menu. To see how the site looks like, click Visit Site. Okay, so now let's learn how to hack this WordPress site. For that I will switch to my Kali Linux and open the WP Scan tool. The first time you run it, I recommend updating the database by typing wp scan --update, and you will see the update has completed. To scan your website, type wp scan --url and the WordPress site which you want to perform the scan. In my case, this is the local website which I have set up. You can replace this with any WordPress site, but make sure you are the owner. After the scan is complete, you can see important information such as WordPress version, the theme that is using, and some plugins. To see the vulnerable plugins, add --enumerate VP. If vulnerable plugins are found, you will see red exclamation icons and reference to further information. You can also check for vulnerable themes. Just replace the P with T for themes. Okay, now let's enumerate the login names of users. For that, all you need to do is put U at the end of the command and press enter. As you can see, the login name is admin, but I don't have the password. In order to crack the password, I will perform a brute force attack using a word list. So go ahead and use the following command: wp scan --url --word list, and I'm going to drag and drop the word list here, and then --username admin, and press enter. Please remember, this is a dictionary attack. If the password is not in the word list, the attack will fail. As you can see, the password was found. At this point, you can log into the WordPress admin dashboard by typing the site address /wp-admin and press login. And now I'm logged as admin. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to secure your WordPress site using a free plugin called All-in-One WP Security. So first of all, you need to log into your WordPress dashboard. Here select plugins and click add new. Now search for All-in-One WP Security and select the first one and click install now, and then activate the plugin. Once activated, you should see a tab here called WP Security and some different options. So go ahead and select settings and click WP version info. This option hides your WordPress version to secure your site from people who are trying to scan your website and find what version you are using. So click Save Settings and go to User Accounts. This basically means that you shouldn't have an admin username, because that's a very common username and hackers can test that username with a brute force attack. So I strongly recommend changing the admin username. Next, go to Database Security and change the table prefix to add a layer of protection for a database. But don't forget to make a backup before doing this. and then go down here and select brute force. This allows you to change the login URL and will prevent your site from brute forcing attacks. So in my case, I'm going to put log and press save settings. But be careful, because you need to remember this URL when you are trying to log into your WordPress dashboard. Once done with that, go to the last tab and select users enumeration. This will prevent hackers to enumerate users from your site, and it's very important to enable this option. Okay, so now let's switch to my Kali machine and make some quick tests to see if I have secured the site. So I'm going to open a terminal and type wp-scan-u and put the local website address to scan my site. And you can see the version cannot be detected. Now let's try to enumerate users by typing wp-scan-u for the URL and then -- enumerate u for users and press enter. As you can see, no usernames were found. That means the plugin has secured the site for this type of scanning. And lastly, let's perform a brute force attack using the following command: wp-scan-u -- word list, and I'm going to drag and drop the word list here. Then type -- username admin, which is the login name for my site, and press enter to start the brute force attack. Now the attack is failing, which means that my site is more secured. So that's it for this lecture. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this video I will show you the basics of XSS, which is short for cross-site scripting. XSS is a client-side code vulnerability which allows the attacker to inject malicious code into a website. This type of attack can be used to obtain cookies, session tokens, or other sensitive information. Cross-site scripting can be broken down into two types: stored and reflected. Stored, also known as persisted, is the most dangerous attack because the code will be stored to the server and will attack everyone who views the page. Reflected attack is the most common type of XSS. This type of attack is used when the script is embedded into a link and is only activated once that link is clicked on. So let's switch to my web application and go to cross-site scripting, reflected DNS lookup. Now in the box, let's try inject XSS code to see if the site is vulnerable. So I'm going to use a simple script with the alert message, "You have been hacked." And let's see if the code will be executed. As you can see, the pop-up alert with the message has appeared on my screen. If you want to see the script behind the scene in the code, you can use inspect element and expand the div tag. And here you can see the script that I have used. This is the most simplistic case of cross-site scripting. Now I will stop the video here, and in the next lesson I will cover other XSS examples. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this lesson I'm going to cover some XSS persistent or stored attacks. So I'm going to click on persistent, add to your blog, and here put the script which you want to be executed. And click save blog entry. As you can see, the alert box has appeared on my screen. But down here you can see the entry with my login name. Now the script is actually saved into the website, and if I try to reload the page, you will see the pop-up alert again. Okay, so let's see another example using the iframe tag. The iframe tag allows you to embed another page inside the current page. So I'm going to copy the code and here in the source put any site you want. In my case is hacksite.org. And click save. And now the website is embedded in this page. The reason why this can be useful is that you can put a malicious link or a login form and steal the user information. A very effective way to steal the user information is by using session cookies, which the attacker can compromise the user account, because in the session cookie is stored the login information. So the user can enter and leave the website without having to re-enter the same authentication information over and over. To give you an example, I'm going to use another script to grab the session ID. As you can see, the pop-up box with the session ID for the username admin has appeared. At this point, I can log in as admin using the session cookie. So I already saved the cookie into a file, and let's switch to my Firefox, and the first thing you need to do is install Cookie Manager. For that, click Tools, Add-ons and search for Cookie Manager. Now in the page, if you look in the right corner, you can see that I'm not logged in. So I'm going to copy the session and open Cookie Manager, and in the PHP session ID paste the cookie and click Save. If I reload the page, you can see now that I'm logged as admin. So that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to prevent cross-site scripting attacks using a PHP function called HTML special chars. So this function converts special characters like greater than, less than, single quote, double quote to HTML entities. And you can see the entities just here. Now let's go to my local website, which is located in XAMPP htdocs, and make some changes. And here is a very basic site using HTML and PHP. To access the website, I will put my local IP address. So let's say a user submits a simple JavaScript code with the alert 678. And if I save and reload the page, you can see the pop-up with the number. So this means that my site is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. At this point, a user can insert a malicious JavaScript code to steal cookies or redirect users to another page. So let's see how to fix the problem. For that, I'm going to use another PHP file called preventxss.php. First, type require preventxss.php, and now you can use any function that you define in here. So I'm going to create a function called prevent and pass in a string and return HTML special chars, which is the function that converts special characters to HTML entities. So let's go ahead and pass in the arguments. The first one is going to be string. The second is going to be the flag that you use to determine the level of conversion. So I'm going to use end quotes, which encodes double and single quotes. The last option is the character encoding, and you can see here that I'm using UTF-8. Now the prevent function is completed, and you can wrap anything that you are outputting. Okay, so save the files and let's try to reload the page. As you can see, the JavaScript code is not working anymore because the function has converted the special characters like greater than, less than to HTML entities. To understand better, use right click and select view page source. And here you can see the script with the converted characters like less than and greater than. So that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to cover BEEF, which is short for Browser Exploitation Framework. BEEF allows you to exploit web browsers and it comes pre-installed in Kali Linux. So I'm going to start BEEF by going first to cd/user/share beef_xss and type /beef, and that will start the BEEF framework. Now here you can see a UI link and a hook. The hook is going to be the infected JavaScript, which will take control over the browser. And the UI is for Beef authentication page. So I will copy the UI link and let's log in. The username is Beef and password Beef. Here you can see the getting started page and some useful information. So now let's perform the browser attack. For that you need to copy the hook JavaScript link and go to your Windows machine and look for XAMPP htdocs folder. And here create a very basic HTML page and put the hook into a script. Don't forget to save the page as index.html. Once done with that, open XAMPP and start Apache and MySQL database server. And now you have an infected website. To access the web page, use your local IP address and press enter. Now I will switch to Beef and you can see the hooked browser with the IP address and the Windows version. But if you go to the control panel, you can see the new entry with the hooked address. If I try to open the same page again using my Linux machine, you will see another entry with the IP address and the operating system. At this point you can exploit the browser. In my case I'm going to select the Linux browser and go to commands, and here you have a bunch of options. So first of all, let's use the alert and put any message you want in the text field and click execute. And you can see here the alert has appeared. Another cool option is the social engineering pretty theft. This will create a fake Facebook login and it's gonna say your session has timed out. If you type your email and password and click login, then your credentials will be captured here. You can also redirect the user to a different page by using redirect browser and type the web address and click execute. After a few seconds, the redirect link will appear in the browser. So that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to gain full access over the target machine using Beef and MSF console. So let's get started. First open a terminal and type MSF console and wait for the framework to load. Now to create the payload I'm going to use the following command to create a reverse TCP connection. So all you need to do here is change the L host and L port. For L host, use your local IP address by typing ifconfig and copy the IP address and paste it here. And for L port, type 444. The format file is exe and the output name in my case is updater.exe. And press enter to create the payload. The file is saved to the home directory. So you need to copy the file and go to your Windows machine and look for XAMPP htdocs folder and paste the file here. This is the location for the infected website. Okay, so now let's go back and set the listener. For that I'm going to type use exploit multi-handler and then set payload windows/meterpreter reverse TCP. Now you need to set the L host and L port. So go ahead and type set L host and put your local IP address. For L port put 444 and type exploit. And let's switch to Beef control panel. As you can see, I already have a hooked browser, which is my Windows machine. I'm not going to cover how to hook a browser because I already did that in my previous video. So click on commands, and to send the payload to the victim, I'm going to use fake notification bar. And here put the Windows local IP address where your payload is stored. In my case is 192.168.1.4/updater.exe. And for the notification, I will put please update your browser and click execute. If I switch back to my Windows machine, you can see the notification here. And if I click install, save and open that file, then in my MSF console, you can see a session has been opened. At this point, I have full control over the Windows machine. For example, I will type netuser to list the user accounts, or start Firefox, and that will start a new Firefox window. You can also shut down the computer by typing shutdown-s-t and put the time here. And a pop-up box with the shutdown message has appeared. So that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to defeat Beef framework using a Chrome extension called Vegan. So first open your Chrome browser and go to More Tools, Extensions, and down here click Get More Extensions. Now search for Vegan Beef framework and click Add to Chrome. Once done with that, I will go to my Kali Linux machine and start the Beef framework by typing cd/user/share beefxss and press enter, and then /beef. Here you can see the hook URL. This contains the infected JavaScript code, which will help you to take control over the browser. So copy the link address and go to XAMPP htdocs and paste the link into a script. This is a very basic HTML page which I have created for testing. And don't forget to save the page as index.html. Okay, so let's try to open my infected website by typing my local IP address. As you can see, the plugin has detected the malicious JavaScript code, and the site is now blocked. You can test the site by reloading the page. At this point, you can consider this method effective at blocking beef hooks into your Chrome browser. I also recommend closing your browser when you see this type of message and reboot the computer. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this video I'm going to teach you how to generate a backdoor using Weebly. A backdoor is a method which allows you to access a system remotely without proper authentication. So let's get started. First of all, open a terminal and type Weebly to see the options. Now I'm going to generate a malicious PHP file using the following command. Weebly generate and here put the password. In my case I'm going to use pass and then the name of the file, which is shell.php. So now you need to upload the PHP file to the website which you want to gain access. For that I'm going to use my vulnerable web application and select upload. Then look for the PHP file which is located in user share Weebly and click upload. Now you need to know the directory where the file is uploaded. Mine is hackable/upload/shell.php. So I will copy the link address and switch back to my terminal and type Weebly and paste the address here. And then put the password and press enter. As you can see, I have a session where I can execute commands. For example, I will type system info to get details about the server, or file ls to list the directory contents. The web server is running on Windows, so I can type netstat-an to display a list of all open network connections on the computer. To learn more, type help to see all the things you can do. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this tutorial you will learn how to perform a cross-site request forgery attack. But first of all, let's understand what is cross-site forgery. Cross-site request forgery is an attack that tricks a web browser into executing an unwanted action in a web application where the user is logged in. This means that the victim will need to be logged in order for the attack to succeed. And with a little help of social engineering, such as sending a link to the victim, an attacker may trick the user to perform changing requests, like transferring funds, changing passwords, and so on. To demonstrate how cross-site request forgery works, I will use my vulnerable web application with the security level set to low and go to CSRF. In this page you can change your admin password. So I will put my new password pass and click change. To test the new password I will relog in. Okay, so for this video I will show you how you can change the victim password, which is pass in my case. For that you need to use right click and select view paste source and copy this form right here. And then paste the content into a text file. To make the code cleaner, I will remove the BR tag and change the message here to click the button below to claim your prize. And use the H1 tag if you want. Then change the input type in the password field to hidden. Now to change the victim password, you need to add value equal here and put the new password. So I will use the word cracked for the new password in both fields and change the value here to claim your prize. And then you need to copy the link up here and paste it in form action. At this point you will need to save the form as HTML. The name doesn't matter, so I will save the file as prize.html. If the victim opens the file and clicks the prize button, then the password will be changed to cracked. To demonstrate that the password was successfully changed, I will log in again and use inspect element and change the input type to text, because I want you to see the password in clear text. And if I press login, you can see the password is working fine. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Hi and welcome. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to perform a simple phishing attack using the social engineering toolkit. But first of all, let's understand what is phishing. Phishing is a type of social engineering attack used to steal user data, including login credentials and credit card numbers. It occurs when an attacker sends a malicious email address or fake website to the victim. For example, a phishing email appearing to come from a bank may warn the user that their account has been compromised, directing the user to a fake website, where their username and password can be reset. This website is fake, designed to look like the original one, but is only to collect login information from victims. To perform the attack, I will switch to my Kali machine and open a terminal and type set toolkit to start the social engineering tool. And I'm going to use social engineering attack and website attack vectors and then the credential harvester attack method. And here select site cloner. Now you need to put your IP address. For that, open a new window or terminal and type ifconfig and copy the IP address and paste it here and press enter. Here you're gonna type the URL which you want to clone and make a fake website. So in my case, I'm going to use hackthisite.org, but you can clone any site you want. Once done with that, press enter, and now the attack is live. At this point, all you have to do is get somebody to access your IP address. You can do this by sending an email to the victim and mask the IP address using a link shortener such as bit.ly.com. Okay, so now let's try to type my IP address in the browser. And you can see the site was successfully cloned and looks exactly as the original one. But if I put the email address, for example, johngmail.com and password let me pass, then the credentials will be captured here. And you can see the username and password which I have typed. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Okay, so welcome back. In this video I'm going to cover how to prevent your website from being hacked and how to protect yourself online when you are browsing the internet. So let's get started. First of all, I recommend using the Vega scanner, which helps you to find web application vulnerabilities like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, directory listing, and many more. So if your website is built with WordPress, then you need to change your admin username, because WordPress by default creates an admin username, and it's much more easier for a hacker to guess your password. You can also install security plugins like all-in-one WordPress security or brute force login protection to prevent your website against brute force login attacks. And if your website has file upload form, then you need to treat this very carefully, because the files could contain a script or malicious code, which can compromise the website. A good solution is to change the file permission so it can be executed. And lastly, I strongly recommend using SSL protocol for establishing encrypted links between a web server and the browser. The SSL technology ensures that all data transmitted between the web server and browser remains encrypted. Okay, so now let's see how you can protect yourself online. First thing, when you are browsing the internet and use sensitive information such as usernames, passwords, or credit card numbers, make sure the URL begins with HTTPS, which is a protocol used for secure communications. And if you are using a wireless connection, please don't forget to secure your network using WPA, because all information can be intercepted by someone nearby using a tool like Wireshark. Next, you need to protect from malware by installing an antivirus program on the computer and use a browser such as Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. Don't use older versions of Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is very insecure. I also discussed about phishing attack in the course. So this occurs when an attacker tricks a victim into opening an email or fake website to steal the user information. Okay, now everything that I mentioned in this video is a step in the right direction. The more you care about security, the harder it gets for a hacker to break in. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Hi and welcome back. In this video I'll be wrapping up the course. So let's see what was covered in the course. First we discussed how the web works and how to use Vega Scanner. Then we moved to SQL injection, where you have learned how SQL injection attacks work. We also covered how to hack and secure a WordPress site. And then you have learned cross-site scripting and cross-site request forgery attacks. I also covered how to hook victims with B framework and how to gain full control over the target machine. And lastly, we discussed about phishing attacks and how they work. So I want to say thank you for taking the course and I will see you next time.